Do not trade on a Monday. Don't trade on a Friday. Don't trade in January. Don't trade in August. And definitely don't trade in December. Does that sound familiar? Do you think that it's been slow trading in January? This is the narrative that I keep seeing and what people keep messaging me saying, Mark, you guys seem to have smashed January. How have you done that? The markets have been slow. It's always interesting because this is usually people messaging me that trade 1, 2, maybe 3 pairs at most. This is what comes with the territory. I warned you guys about this years ago. There's nothing wrong with trading 1 or 2 pairs. There really isn't. Trade whatever you want to trade. What I'm saying is that what comes with the territory of only trading a few instruments. What comes with that is that you're going to have periods which the market is just moving sideways. It's a bit of a squeeze. But if you have too much of these strict criterias, like don't trade on a Monday, don't trade on a Friday, don't trade 30 minutes outside a session, like you have to have some rules, but there's a part in which that you're being so rigid that you're not taking a step back, looking at the market and just doing the simple, the basics. Even again, I don't specialize in any particular instrument. Euro dollar has been phenomenal in January for me. And it's not because I'm a specialist in euro dollar or price action, it's just simple stuff over and over again. What you could have done, which I'll show you in the charts in a second actually, I'll show you how you could have used the DXY to your advantage with some really simple euro dollar trades that were extremely profitable. Euro dollar happened to be my most profitable pair for January as a whole. But what I would encourage you guys to do is aim to be the type of trader that no matter what, you don't use any excuses, you can perform regardless of the situation. And you can do that, you just have to focus your mind on working on the parts that are going to enable you to do that. Don't follow the trends. Just because someone of influence tells you that January's slow, it doesn't mean that you have to take that as gospel. You got to look at the data. So before we move further into this episode, I have an alarming stat to share with you. You'll be shocked. Nearly 37% of you that watch the channel are not subscribed. Guys, what are you playing? I'm going to come to your house, I'm going to subscribe for you. But on a serious note, we would love for you to hit that subscribe button so you're in the loop of the channel and you're supporting the channel. The more you invest into the channel, the more the channel invests back to you. So essentially, we would love that. We love the support, the comments, and we can continue making videos that actually provide value. The whole goal of the channel in the first place, in this minefield of information in the space that we're in, is to create content that's going to help you level up, sustain yourself as a trader, so you can look back in years to come knowing, right, I had the right information because this channel was continuously providing me value. So subscribe to the channel and we really appreciate it. So these are the few trades that I just want to run you through. So 5 trades in total for me this month. 2 of them on euro dollar were absolutely stunning and so simple using the structure. The DXY played a part in it as well. So I want to give you an understanding. Again, it's really important for you to not to follow the narrative and understand what's going to affect what. So I actually used DXY to my advantage on this first trade. So we had the sell and the buy. Firstly, covering the sell, we was in a natural continuation at this point. If you look at the overall bearish structure, you have your phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and again, your phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, typical continuation. So when we're looking at this structure as a whole, if we zoom in, what we were paying attention to was this high here, right? So we equal to that high and we have our drive number 1, number 2, number 3. But what's really important is that each time we're taking out the high. And as we know, the market is moving in threes when we get those bigger moves. So we're not shocked about this, but there's something really important as well about this trade idea. I won't go too much into the technical details, but it's this key part right there. Notice how that gap has been left to that low. So naturally, leaving that gap, that's going to get filled. So this follow through made a lot of sense for us. If we go to the 1 hour time frame, essentially what we're looking for is follow through. We did have an entry up there. I personally didn't get that entry. Some of the guys did in the community. It's this trade here. So this is the strongest point. Once we break this point, any structures underneath that follow through to fill that gap is extremely high. So essentially what we did is go to the lower time frames, we executed in our trade plan, and then we was able to get involved. We had trades on the 15 and on the 5. Again, super straightforward. Got out of this one for 3.7 myself. So that was really straightforward trade all day long. So again, this is why it's really important that you don't project too much beliefs onto you think the market's slow. If anything, I would say it's the opposite. Look at the S&P breaking all-time highs. Look at the markets as a whole breaking all-time highs on multiple different asset classes. The market is nothing short of opportunities. There are so many of them. And what's really important is about this next trade is when you have candle shapes this size, right? So you have your typical bearish candles, but then when you've got ones that are visibly much larger than your average candle and it's breaking something of significance, so let's say this is a low point. If you have this candle here, I'm going to give you a tip for free here. This 4 hour, if we retrace the next candle, and the next candle meaning the same time frame, so if the 4 hour retracement is over 50% of the previous candle, the probability of that filling through to the start of the candle is extremely high now. So what does that do for us? It means we can go to the lower time frame, we can then look for a trade idea that would make sense to follow through. And the reason why this is important is that it helps you be able to manage the trade, because you could work out, right, if the start of it is, let's say, here, or it's higher up here, you know the room that you have to fill that area is enough for you to be able to manage the position, etc. Now, I actually manually closed this one just because I wasn't going to be able to manage it, so I got out of it for 2.5. Again, could have managed it a little bit differently, but overall, lovely position, 6.2 in the end, and overall 10.2 for the month. So those are just a few trades, and this is why it's important for your RAS. RAS is your reticular activating system. Without getting too technical, what you focus on expands. So if you focus too much on the fact that you think there's no opportunities, guess what? You won't find any. If you focus on the fact there are opportunities, you'll probably find you adopt the behavior that finds high quality opportunities. Guys, through whatever condition you should be able to trade, there is an abundance of opportunities, and you can use the DXY to your advantage. Very, very briefly, when this sell was happening, if I show you the DXY was placed here in continuation. So we was looking for this move up, looking for this to follow through towards these highs. So it gave us even more confirmation for the DXY. The DXY is heading towards these highs that we've been forecasting for a while. So the natural law of this moving higher, euro dollar moving lower, it added even more confluence to the sells. So super straightforward, real basics, but are really effective when you know how to make them work. I genuinely believe there is a lack of discipline when it comes to trading as a whole. People have just made it a complete laughing stock, and it's really important. If you want to stand the test of time, we have to bring back this more professional attitude. We're actually doing monk mode month at the moment. At the time of you watching this video, it's actually the 2nd of February, so we're a couple of days into monk mode month. You still have the opportunity to join us doing that. We've encouraged so many of you to join us, and you can actually do that, Falcon member or not. You can do that via accessing through the TMB. If you're not currently a subscriber to the TMB, all the links are in the description. It's the market brief, a weekly newsletter, and you'll have access to that template, and you can join us with monk mode month. You still have time to build that momentum in February with us. My final message to you would be get involved in monk mode month. I don't care how you trade, how you look at the markets, it doesn't matter. Just humor me for a second. If you do monk mode month, I promise you your results will improve, because it's everything that is connected outside of trading. But remember, Leonardo da Vinci famously once said, everything is connected to everything else. How you do one thing is how you do everything. By doing monk mode months, all of these components are going to complement your trading, increase your focus, your productivity, your awareness, helping you to regulate your emotions. This is without going through something like the Rewired program. You don't have access to this. Monk mode month will change the game for you. I would be shocked if you said, Mark, look, I don't trade the way that you trade. However, I done monk mode month for the whole 29 days or 27, whatever is left, and I didn't see an improvement. You're not going to say that to me, because the reality is these things are going to improve all areas of life. And more importantly, it's going to give you that long lasting effect for the rest of the year. Now, I don't know about you, but I've got some massive goals this year. Myself and the community have so many big plans. We're going to be scaling towards the £100 million fund, like so many other things. You'll do yourself a disservice not to build that momentum, especially if you are one of those traders that, for whatever reason, regardless of your belief system on January being slow, maybe you're just a bit sluggish, maybe you didn't build the momentum, and that's absolutely fine, but you cannot afford to waste the rest of this year. Time to build the momentum. We would love for you to join us.